This is Henry Frederick of Headline Surfer, and we're here with JHoshua Wagner, the District 2 representative for the Volusia County Council, on what apparently was a very intense day, Mr. Wagner, regarding economic development. How do you feel with the first part of it on beach driving?
I'd have to say it's somewhat bittersweet. In the sense of I'm happy the two projects are going to go forward. They're huge for our community.
We're talking about these luxury hotels.
Yeah, you have the Westin, and you also have the Hard Rock.
Now let's take one at a time. The Westin used to be the Desert Inn.
Used to be Desert Inn.
That used to be the Party Central for spring break and a couple of other nasty things.
Yeah, you know what it is. It was deplorable. It was awful. So to have that, the investment to the level that it's going to be, a 4-star hotel, what they are planning to do, what they have to do to, in essence, have the driving transferred, as far as parking transferred from the beach to the parking lot next
Well, we'll
door.
get to that in a second, but basically, so you have a Westin that's replacing the Desert Inn, and that's closer to Ormond Beach as opposed to the Hard Rock Cafe.
If you took that zone of, Daytona, the Westin would be to the north towards Ormond, and the Hard Rock would be to the south towards Daytona Beach Shores.
And Dunlawton Avenue Bridge, basically.
Yeah, if you pick the north and south.
Right.
Sides.
Okay. So with those two in mind, and you've got the core tourist area being the no driving zone, where the Ocean Walk shops are and the band shell.
Yeah, in essence.
And the Ocean Center.
What we in essence did is kind of created a bookends. You would have pretty close to at least the Hard Rock on the south bookend,
right.
The Westin on the north bookend, the Ocean Walk, Hilton, Ocean Center, pretty much in the middle. The idea behind it is that infill. You got the bookends,
right.
Fill it in.
Now, are these? I'm sorry. Are these two latest projects the definitive, the largest ever, or are they just among the largest? Because I guess the original Marriott.
I guess if you looked at them together.
Ocean Walk was pretty big.
If you look at them together, it's large. I mean, the Ocean Walk with the Marriott, the original Marriott was big. That was a huge project, especially when you take in just the Ocean Center aspect of it.
And that one was the actual one where the significant driving, where cars were taken off.
Oh yeah, but everyone says, oh, the failure. I mean, it's been great. I mean, it's obviously with anything, everything took a hit for a couple years when the
housing market fell right after that,
and tourism dropped.
I believe those projects pretty much opened up around 2000, and the parking garage was built not that far long after.
A little bit before,
1998, 99. We can look it up.
But it's aside from that now. The Hard Rock just has a bigger name. It's really become the barometer. As far as economic development is concerned, it's become the barometer. People have really looked at it and says, okay, just because I think people didn't quite realize we could get one. Maybe that's the point
now,
of it. But.
As part of what's obviously here, our Sunday conversation, in the wake of the Thursday County Council meeting, the overriding issue was obviously taking cars in front of two hotels that are bookend hotels, like you're saying, and then the third element would have been some kind of a drive zone, right? Give me that territory.
What it is there are 3 ordinances. The third ordinance was the Hard Rock. The second ordinance was the Westin.
Right.
What they have to do to get the driving taken from the beach, and they'd have to
only behind those hotels, the part that's facing the surf.
The first ordinance, in reality, what the first ordinance does. It actually is kind of a definable Daytona Beach Resort District.
Oh, that's the one. Yeah, that's the one that's the stretch. What are those?
It's from Silver Beach to the south, to University to the north. Now, the reality is the ordinance doesn't.
That's 1 mile.
It lifts 1 mile. I think it's 2 miles if you take the other section.
Now, It's
doesn't
always
really do anything.
It's kind of fuzzy math, right?
It doesn't. It's just.
Well, I mean, if they can develop it.
No, because you still have to come back to the council. What in essence it does is it says, hey. This is what you would have to do.
These are the steps.
These are the steps. It doesn't really...
And these steps are pretty much economic steps, right? You give us X amount of things.
This is the type of luxury hotel. These are the things you would have to provide. This is what you would have to do to even be considered.
Let me ask you this. I thought the county chair, Jason Davis, made a very valid point today. And there was a lot of intelligent discussion. There was a lot of animosity, too. I know we're running out of time here. But he said something to the effect of, the cities need to do more, too, in the crime situation in Daytona. And, I've been harping on that, the violent crime. It's just deplorable. I mean, the recent murders. And how do you try to get that
I think they have
blended in and make this thing work?
The city of Daytona Beach and their commission, even the last commission, I believe, we're taking serious steps to try to make changes down there. Obviously, they had that contentious issue as far as the inspections are concerned
Right.
with the rental properties, but they, with their
Well, that was the whole issue of the broken window. If,
Yeah.
the mayor says, well, we go for the bigger things. Other people say, well, you got to fix the small things, otherwise it
There's
decays.
a book, or I think it's called The Broken Window Effect.
Right.
If there's a broken window on a street, then it's more likely that people are going to break other windows.
Right, I've written that.
Yeah, it's so-
Basically, if you have one rundown place, it leads to decay.
Everything, yeah.
Kind of like one bad apple in the bunch.
Yeah, makes sense.
You had a tough time today with the crowd, with the audience. Well, not the overwhelming business community led by J. Hyatt Brown, considered one of the elite insiders, the big guy. But this Let Volusia Vote, this citizens group, they seem to take you to task. Do you feel that maybe they were unreasonable, a little tough on you, or do you
No,
feel
I
that
actually-
you deserved
I feel
the
like
criticism, or?
I deserve the criticism.
But you had to overcome. You had to make the tough choice.
I'm elected to not make people happy and be my friends.
Well, you're
I
elected
had
to get
more-
results, right?
More friends that wanted me to vote against this. People that I'm with.
Let me make it clear to you. You're elected to get results, correct?
I'm elected to take the community as a whole into consideration to do what I think is best for the community.
And that means get results,
And that was to get this done.
right? But I mean by get results, meaning if it's an overriding economic engine that everybody says it is,
It made sense.
you said yourself, how can I turn down two of the biggest?
And I'm very pro-beach driving, so that's the conflict.
Do you think it felt better for you knowing that the county chair was on board this time?
I appreciated the fact that he was there.
6-1. I mean, Joyce Cusack has been, from day one.
Yeah, she has made it known since day one that she was elected on it, flat out.
Do you feel that she's out of touch, or do you feel that
No,
she it was her convictions of?
her conviction, she gave her word. Her election just happened. That specific group supported her based on that one issue. And I think that's important. For me, it was a little different. Mine's more of my friends supported me because, obviously a lot of different reasons. Some of which were I've always been a supporter of beach driving, which I still am. I won't drive. I won't do anything further.
All right, we're going to be back with our second segment here in a moment.